Hey all, it's Damira here from the Millennial Farmhouse. Welcome back to my channel and thank you for joining me for another episode of DW's Daily Dose. If you haven't already, please take a moment to subscribe to the Millennial Farmhouse. So in this episode of DW's Daily Dose where I share coffee related content, I am going to be decorating my winter coffee bar. To start off, I needed to refill a few things, and so I'm just grinding some coffee here, which will go into a glass jar and stay on this counter next to my espresso machine. And then I place the rest of the beans into a little coffee canister, and that's going to go on my actual coffee cart. I got these 4 glass jars from Target Bullseye section, and there was 4 in one pack. And I'm placing some tea here. Now, I don't often drink tea, but in the winter, I drink it more than usual. And on each of these glass jars, I just wrote out the flavor of the tea on the bottom with a chalk marker. Finally, in the last glass jar, I put in some cherry gummies, which were absolutely delicious, and it was surprising that they lasted me all of January because I just couldn't help myself when eating them, but I had to show a little control and restraint. And then finally, I am putting in some peppermints and some caramel, coffee flavored caramels, which I like to just snack on, but also to put into hot chocolate and a few different flavored cups of coffee. After refilling a few things on my coffee bar, I went into one of my bins to just pick out the different mugs that I'll be using for this winter coffee bar. I'm definitely going to be using that sign, the black and white coffee bar, open daily or served daily. And for this winter coffee bar, I really wanted to use the snowman mug, and then you'll see the spoon rest here in a minute. I thought they were so cute, and so the colors for my coffee bar were black and white because I had a lot of black and white mugs and decor pieces, and so I just felt like that was a good color for a winter coffee bar. This mug here is my absolute favorite for winter, and it was a gift from my aunt a few years ago. On the inside it says, "Oh happy day," and not only is the mug beautiful and it holds a lot of coffee, but just seeing that inscription during the winter months is like a breath of fresh air and a great reminder that it is a happy day. Even if times are tough, it's still a happy day. And this mug, I don't think I'm going to be using this year, but that was also a gift a few years ago from coworkers. And I like to use that for hot cocoa specifically. It just holds the cocoa really well. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using it, but I'm going to pull it out anyway. And then you'll just see I'm going through this bin and just finding different mugs that I might want to use on this coffee bar, including this tea carafe. So I use this teapot. Again, I don't drink tea often, but mostly in the winter I'll do some tea, and so I might put that teapot on as well. Alright, and finally it is time to decorate my coffee bar. So I use this white cart that I got from Walmart many years ago, and I always mention this when I'm decorating a coffee bar, but this cart was actually just a little storage cart for my studio apartment when I was in school, and then it became my coffee cart, and so far it is still holding up, although I do think it'll be time for a replacement soon. But what I like to do with this coffee cart is to place dish towels or cloth napkins onto each shelf so that it gives the appearance of a solid surface, and so that things don't clash too much because you can see in between each basket on this coffee bar. So I'm just gonna go and fix each of these cloth napkins, and these are just gray napkins that I got from At Home, and it was a pack, and they're really solid and sturdy napkins, and then they're also just great here for being a base for each of the shelves. And then I'm just gonna get to work on putting things on my coffee bar. So I like to keep my K-cups and any coffee or tea packets typically in the metal basket you see there. And then I usually do 2 to 3 syrup flavors on my coffee bar. And so I have a peppermint, because in the winter I love to do peppermint mochas or to do peppermint hot chocolate. And then the other one is a cinnamon dolce. I find it gives a little more flavor than vanilla, so I have that this year. But I'm just gonna play around with the coffee bar, really. It's a vertical cart, as you can see, and so it can be hard to style it, but to also make it functional. And I want to get everything that I'm going to need and use onto the coffee bar, but then I also want to make it look nice and welcoming. So I play around a lot with things on this coffee bar, and I'll put them in one position and move them around and just mess with it a little until I get my desired look. As you can see, again, the colors for this coffee bar are black and white, and I do think that this looks like a very winter-inspired coffee bar. And then after I play around, I like to sit back and take it in from a different perspective or a wider view to see what is working and what isn't. And this is my winter coffee bar for this year. I achieved my desired look and style with this coffee bar, and I was very pleased. So I'm just going a little bit in closer depth on each shelf so you can see what I have. I do have coffee and cocoa and some additions like syrups and mints and candies. And then I like to put in the decor as well as the mugs on the coffee bar in a way that will be functional but aesthetically pleasing as well. Alright, so the winter coffee bar has served me very well throughout the month of January, and I will be keeping it up until about March. However, I wanted to do a little Valentine's special for February. Now, I don't decorate my coffee bar for specific holidays except Christmas. However, I do like to put a little something on the coffee bar that's a nod to whatever holiday is coming up, even though I decorate the bar seasonally. So for the week of Valentine's Day, I just added in a little Valentine's inspired decor. I cleared off the first shelf on my coffee bar, and then I also added a pink mug to that second shelf, as well as a flower. But for the most part, I focused on putting in pink items that I got from the Target Bullseye section a few years ago, as well as from At Home also a few years ago. And this just consists of different mugs, some flowers, heart-shaped macaroon candles that smell like strawberries, and then little coffee signs. One says, "I love you, a latte." The other says, "Love, and we go together like cream and sugar." And I just put that in a way that was a beautiful Valentine's inspired homage for the week of Valentine's Day. And overall, I also like how that came out. I thought it was just absolutely beautiful. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've liked this, give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Millennial Farmhouse, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.